$1,000 cash. But here's the twist. If the winner doesn't show up, the cash rolls over to the next drawing. That means bigger wins every weekend. Earn entries for just 75 points on your card. The more you play, the more chances to win. Rock and Brews Casino Bremen. I-35, exit 231. 8-win, rock on.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go.
If I can have today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds, 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
You guys can't drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Saturday, tune in for a college football doubleheader on ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM. Start your Saturday off with College Game Day. Stan Weber hosting this week. And at 11 o'clock, Clemson got one loss already facing Georgia Tech. Then the backyard brawl at 2:30. Pittsburgh takes on West Virginia and returning coach Rich Rodriguez. It's a college football doubleheader Saturday on your home for college football, bowl season, and the college football playoff. ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM.
Wichita's new sports leader, ESPN Wichita, 92.3 FM, KKGQ, Newton.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Ed Benkin. We start with injury news from the NFL. Chiefs coach Andy Reid says there is a slim chance receiver Xavier Worthy will play against the Eagles on Sunday. He's been dealing with a shoulder injury. Bills defensive tackle Ed Oliver is out for Sunday's game against the Jets after accidentally getting stepped on in practice. Sources tell ESPN's Adam Schefter the injury could extend beyond this week. Colts cornerback Javarius Ward won't play against the Broncos on Sunday as he recovers from a concussion. Also, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the season is over for Washington's Dietrich Wise, who suffered a torn quadricep last night in the loss to Green Bay. In baseball, the Yankees and Red Sox are set to square off at Fenway tonight. Aaron Judge passed Yogi Berra and tied Joe DiMaggio on the franchise's all-time home run list, but he says wins are more important.
Just 2 legends, greats in the game, great all-time Yankees. So pretty cool being on a list with them. But I think it's even cooler getting the win, doing something like that.
At Wrigley Field, the Rays lead the Cubs 3-1 of the second. Chicago trailing Milwaukee by 5.5 in the NL Central. College football, Pitt and West Virginia to extend the backyard brawl through 2036 after a 3-year break following tomorrow's game.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming up Monday from week 2 in the NFL to 3 huge games in college football. I'll recap it all in my Upon Further Review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6 right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
You're listening to The Pulse with Pat Strathman on ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM.
Small town, big dreams, and a young boy the age of 15. Had a premonition his city would get seen. Now I'm winning, get sheen in the city of the home of
What's up, Wichita? TGIF, everyone, and welcome to another Football Friday here on The Pulse on Wichita Sports Leader, ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM. In addition to the old radio dial, stream the show, and boy, do you have options. Check us out on ESPNWichita.com. Find us on your favorite smart speaker. Tell it to tune into ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM. Download the ESPN Wichita app. And you can also say hello on X, YouTube, Facebook. We are video streaming on those different platforms as well. I'm Pat Strathman. Filling in for Jack Johnson is Dylan Brett. 316-669-4996. That's the hotline number if you want to pick up the phone and give us a call. We're actually going to go right to the hotline here in just a little bit. Text line number, though, might be more important if you want to give us your score for the Chiefs and Eagles on Sunday. We would love to hear from you. Drop your predictions on the text line at 316-247-0923. We also have social media. You can check us out on X. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on all sorts of things. X, you name it. We are all over the place. Make sure to follow all those different platforms. Make sure to follow Facebook because, mercy, are we booming on Facebook. We are over 7,000 followers now. Thank you, everyone. Seriously, thank you. We might get to 10K at the end of the year. I think we were hoping for maybe 10K by the end of next year. The fact that we are already ahead of schedule says a lot about you all. So thank you so much for being a part of Wichita Sports Leader, ESPN Wichita, 92.3 FM. So here's what we got for you today. Coming up, we will break down the Chiefs and Eagles ourselves between Dylan, Brett, and myself. Normally, if you listen on a Football Friday, normally we lead off with the Chiefs, but we have to respect the time of Fat Jack from FatJackSports.com. Dylan, hopefully you ended up getting that text I just sent you. Fat Jack needs a little help if he could, so please get him ready to rock and roll. At the end of hour number 1, we'll do our 24-karat gold play of the week, brought to you by Phil's Coins and Bullion. In the second hour, we will have Davis Moore Chevrolet drive to a victory. We won't break down Kansas this week because the Jayhawks are on a bye, but we will talk plenty about Kansas State and Arizona, which is taking place in Tucson later on this evening. At 3:25, celebrate. It's our first edition for the 25-26 athletic year. Our first edition of High School Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Distinct Inc., as well as Great Clips. That's coming up at 3:25. And then at the very end of the show, buy or sell What's on Tap, brought to you by Busch Light. We might have a giveaway or two on the program as well. It is a jam-packed Friday. Glad to have you here. Say hello on the text line, on the various streams, you name it. Be a part of the show here on this Football Friday. As I mentioned, we had to move this guy up to kick off the show. It's a little strange, but we do what we got to do to make sure our guy is on the line. It's Fat Jack at FatJackSports.com. Fat Jack, glad to have you back once again. I know it was a couple weeks ago when you said you were 13-2. How did things go last week for you?
We were 6-0 on Saturday. By the way, I'll give something away. If you sign up for the weekend of football through Monday, I will give you the UFC Noche whatever card for free. So you get UFC for free if you sign up for football and you have a Wichita address. So FatJackSports.com to do that. We were 6-0 Saturday, and actually, Pat, it wasn't even close. I mean, we had one or two close, one kind of coin flip game early. After that, it was all easy. Oregon minus 28.5. They won 69-3. Under in the West Virginia-Ohio game, there were 27 points. The total was 61. Under in the OU-Michigan game, I think we talked about that here on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Then we way under. Had Nebraska minus 34. They won 69-0. I was trying to figure out what to sweat late in the afternoon on Saturday. So a really, really good start to the season, building profit every week. Because you mentioned week 0. Week 1, we were 7-3 with the football. This last week, 9-4. Had a small losing week small losing day on Sunday, but it didn't even dent the huge Saturday that we had. We were, 2-1 going into that. So FatJackSports.com. If you sign up today, you get any football package. I'll give you the UFC through this weekend for free.
And that's impressive considering how often you've been on this program saying it's hard to figure out these college football teams. And I'm sure for the NFL week 1, it's probably the same way going into week number 2. I feel like we've talked about this plenty of times. Don't get fooled with what you saw in week number 1, right? I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah, so overreaction is the key to week number 2. And parity is king in the NFL. So, and there's different stats that will even more lead you to that information that are proof of that. So look at teams this last week that lost by double digits. All right. So bad teams this last week, they go on the road. And over this is a 20-year stat. So it's not like the last year. Double-digit loss in week 1. You go on the road in week 2. You're going to always be an underdog. They are 33-18 against the spread, which is 65%. So you're hitting 65% if you're okay, you have the courage to walk up and play teams this week like the Giants, like Carolina, both double-digit losers, both on the road, 65% cover rate over 20 years. Teams in week one that didn't cover in week one and then go on the road the next week, they overall are 22-12 against the spread the last 10 years. The teams that's basically the teams that didn't play well last week are going to go on the road, or they're going to be underdogs this week more times than not. That's where you need to start if you're going to be betting the games. Do not be the guy that goes and says, well, Detroit has got to be better because they're good, and Green Bay made them look silly, but they're going to be great because they're a great team. Or Baltimore got beat. They were the first team ever to score 40 points and have 285 yards rushing and not win the game. First team ever. They've got to play better. Don't be that guy. You're chasing good teams and not factoring the number, and more importantly, the historical value in week two.
All right, there you go. Well, that makes it feel a little bit better. We do run in the spread every Thursday where we pick every game in the NFL against the spread. I chose Carolina. I feel a little bit better now about choosing Carolina. But hey, we have 5 picks to get to, one involving a Sunflower State school. We'll pick another college football game, and then we'll do 3 pro games. We'll get to those here in a little bit. Dylan Brett's filling in for Jack, so we'll see what Dylan Brett can bring to the table. We had him on a couple weeks ago, and he was pretty straight to the point. So we'll start off with Dylan Brett with the game for the night in Tucson. K-State's 1-2. The sky is falling. Arizona, though, feeling confident. It's K-State, though, favored by 1.5. Dylan, do you take the K-State Wildcats or the Arizona Wildcats?
K-State just seems to be in a funk since the Ireland game. I don't know much about Arizona, but I always like to go dog at home. So I'm going to take Arizona plus 1.5.
All right, so you're going to go with Arizona. Kansas State does have Dylan Edwards back. How effective will he be? I would like to think that he will help out that offense, which desperately needs a shot in the arm. I'm going to go K-State on the road. That, Jack, you can't be the one to determine the right side here. I think it's a very intriguing game. A team that's very confident and a team that's coming off that disappointing loss to Army. There's a lot to digest here with this game.
Why is Kansas State favored? I mean, that's what people need to ask themselves. Yeah. Why in the world what has Kansas State done to prove that they should be favored on the road against a 2-0 team? Vegas sometimes leads you, and I don't know either is the answer. I'm not here to tell you I know every single thing about every single game every single week. But what I do know is when you have a situation like this where Kansas State has looked bad, not just against Army, lost in week one overseas in Ireland, have not looked good. They're not winning the line of scrimmage, and they're going to play a team on the road, and they're a favorite. So that tells you what you need to know, that they feel like Kansas State will win in the trenches. If they win in the trenches, don't turn the ball over. This is kind of a circle the wagons game. I follow the money in spots like this. Kansas State 0-5, their last 5 against the spread, and 1-6 on the road. So there's nothing that tells you that this team should be favored, but they are. And if they are, and you don't know why, it's a time to pause at least. So just a lean toward KSU.
Okay. On to Clemson and Georgia Tech. We're going to have this game on the airwaves tomorrow. It was either that or Pitt and West Virginia. I just felt like going with Clemson and Georgia Tech a little bit more. Clemson's favored by 3 on the road. Dylan, I'm going to let you take this one as well.
I'm immediately going to contradict myself and go with Clemson in the point or -3. I just think Clemson's a better team. I'm a big Haynes King fan as a player, but I think Clemson's just too good.
See, I'm going to ride with Clemson too, but Fat Jack, this is where my red lights start flashing here. The fact it's only 3 makes me go, okay, what's the deal? So give me the scoop on Georgia Tech and Clemson for tomorrow.
Yeah, so this is definitely a pros versus Joes game, and the value is all of the average players are on Clemson, a lot of sharp players on Georgia Tech. This game opened Clemson 6, down to 3.5. Yet the money, if you look at the money, it's about even. Actually, Clemson's taken a little more of the bets, but not more of the money. And the smarter money is coming in on Georgia Tech here. The value's gone for me. So I would not play the game. I would play it at 6. I wouldn't play it at 3 or 3.5. But I do think Georgia Tech's quarterback will give Clemson's defense some problems. And that's where Clemson's going to win this game on the road, is by playing good defense, keeping it in the 20s, and not letting Georgia Tech, control the clock, control the line of scrimmage, win time of possession, those type things. So Clemson, I think the jury's still out on how good they're going to be. The value's gone. I think this game's a 3 or 4 point game, but yeah, Clemson definitely on upset alert here. I'll lean toward Georgia Tech even at 3.5.
Okay, I like it. Fat Jack with FatJackSports.com here on the Pulse. If you're tired of losing for sports gambling, listen to this guy and get signed up for his services today. 3 NFL games to pick. We'll save Chiefs and Eagles for last, although I'll be curious to see what Fat Jack has to say when we get to that point. Giants and Cowboys. Cowboys are favored by 4.5 in Dallas. Hey, last week against Philly, I went with Dallas because I felt like 8.5 was too much. Well, here we are now sitting at a 4.5 point spread in favor of the Cowboys. Dylan Brett, who you got?
I'm taking the Cowboys. I thought Dak looked really good in Philadelphia. I think they get right at home this week. I mean, minus a few drops, they were really into that game and looked like they could have won it. So I'm going to take the Cowboys over a Giants team that just cannot move the football.
Well, we just got done talking about this. Fat Jack just threw caution to the wind by saying, hey, don't believe everything that you saw in week number 1, especially for a team that loses by double digits. And then they have to go on the road because there is proof there in the pudding. 65%. That's a pretty high number. And that's why Fat Jack's on this program to correct us. Let me make sure I'm going to go with what I had yesterday because I don't want to switch after listening to Fat Jack. I had the Cowboys yesterday, so I'll stay by my pick there, Fat Jack. But I think you're the first to say don't sleep on the Giants in this one on the road in Dallas.
If you get 65%, you can retire from everything else.
Right.
And you can take your baby and move to the biggest house in Wichita and get a limo driver with a chariot, a couple of stallions driving her to school every day in a horse-drawn chair. 65% is a really, really hard trend to overcome. One of the two are going to cover for sure. And this is probably the most likely. Dallas trades away their best defensive player. They go up and they just covered against Philly. They didn't beat Philly.
Yeah.
They look better than people thought they were going to. This is the second divisional game for Dallas. Last year, these two teams, and the Giants stunk last year. The last 2 games, 20-15 and 27-20. The Giants get an upgraded quarterback. I do think they're going to go to the backup, the rookie, at some point. But even if they don't, they have a better play at quarterback this year than they did last year. He had 168 yards and no interceptions. Actually ran for 44 yards. That's better than what they were getting. This is absolutely that type of spot where you're going to want to play Dallas because there's a better team. The Dallas Cowboys are on a 4-9 run against the spread at home as well. So they, generally speaking, you're not getting it done against the number at home. Give me the Giants plus the point.
Okay, there's all the information that you need for that one. Broncos and Colts will have it on the airwaves on Sunday. The Broncos are favored by 1.5. I saw that the Broncos secondary might be a little bit dinged up for this one. What do you got, Dylan Brett?
I'm riding with the Colts looking good in week 1. I think Daniel Jones is going to have a resurgent year. I don't know how good he'll end up being, but he'll end up making a name for himself this year a little bit more than he had in New York. And I wasn't totally bought in what I saw from the Broncos against Tennessee last week. So give me the Colts plus 1.5.
I'm gonna ride with the Broncos. That's why I chose yesterday, and I saw the update with the injuries taking place there for the Colts actually that are banged up. I said that wrong. The Colts secondary is actually banged up compared to the Broncos. I'm going to ride with Denver on the road, though. The Colts absolutely demolished Miami, but I'm not going to be one to sit here and go, well, look at what they did in week 1. They'll surely do it in week 2, right? I'm not going to fall for that. I'm going to go for the Denver Broncos on the road in Indianapolis. Although I will say, though, Fat Jack, it was a surprise to a lot of people seeing the Colts just curb stomp the Miami Dolphins like that. But what do you got for this one?
Well, the Dolphins head coach has been the favorite to lose his job first in the NFL since sometime in June. So I think a lot of the public felt like Miami was down and going to have some problems. And then you run into Indy that played well, but I don't think people are really a believer. And so you're actually getting the adverse side. You're getting people saying, listen, Denver should have covered last week, won easily. I mean, shut down Tennessee, 120-12. So they took care of business for sure. Now they go on the road. They're the easier side to play. But the Colts are on a 6-3 run against the spread at home. And I actually think Denver was that sexy pick in the summer where everybody thought this team's going to be much improved, much better. I think they're better, but not enough to not be laying a point or to be getting more than 2 or 3 points here, and they're not. So I'd actually take Indy here plus the point or so.
Okay. Last one, Chiefs and Eagles. This one taking place over there at Arrowhead. Xavier Worthy practiced today, which is a little bit of a surprise for a lot of individuals. Will the Chiefs have a hangover after the Brazil game, or will they have enough energy to get revenge on the Eagles, who demolished them in last year's Super Bowl? Eagles are favored by 1.5 points. Dylan Brett, who you got?
Got to take the Chiefs. I'll be out there on Sunday hoping for the best. I have blind faith that we're going to turn it around after last week's disappointing performance, and they got a little chip on their shoulder after last year's Super Bowl. So give me the Chiefs.
Jack and I, you'd be amazed to learn this here, Fat Jack. Jack and I, who's obviously Jack's not here today, he had to fill in for Seren. Jack and I picked the Philadelphia Eagles, if you can believe that, which is crazy to think, because Patrick Mahomes as a dog, I know his record as a dog is well documented. Only has 2 losses against the spread. Was he 8-2-1? He's only been a dog at home one other time, and that was against the Buffalo Bills, a game that he lost back in 2022. I just think that the Eagles, with their ability to run the football, I don't like what I see from the Kansas City Chiefs defensively. And we'll break it down a little bit more here in a little bit, but I'm going to go with Philly. But not very often do you get Patrick Mahomes as a dog. And Fat Jack, it's well documented. So how do you see this one going on Sunday?
I think I'm in both your heads. I mean,
that's it.
Philly beat Dallas. Philly beat Dallas. They didn't beat Buffalo. I mean, they beat Dallas. Dallas is supposed to be trading away their best players. So I'm not sure. If you go back to the Super Bowl, I think you guys are misguided for sure. Now, the argument about Kansas City's defense absolutely has some water. I mean, they played horrible. I go on the opposite side. I think Kansas City's defense will play better. I think they will play better, and Philly won't be able to run the ball effectively, and they don't score as much if they can't run it effectively. So I do think Kansas City has a better performance defensively, which gives me hope if I'm a Chiefs fan for sure. I don't see Mahomes and company going 0-2. Everything that could go wrong did down in Brazil from the first play on. And by the way, the Chiefs are 13-0 straight up their last 13 at home. They don't lose at Arrowhead. This is on the road. Be a different conversation. But, give me the Chiefs plus a point or so.
Okay, there we go. All right, Fat Jack, there we go. Our 5 picks for the day. We got you out with plenty of time to spare. Let's make some money this weekend.
FatJackSports.com, everything through Monday, $189 for football, $249 gets you the players' props also. The better deals are longer term. They're less than $80 a week to win money betting on sports. Last Saturday, 6-0. Absolute sweeper. We've won money every week this season. The last 3 weeks, we're building profit. If you can even see even, you're doing it wrong. Go to FatJackSports.com. Get everything through the Super Bowl. It's $1,849. With a gosh, that sounds like a lot of money. Break it up. It's $80 a week to get winning selections, build profit betting on sports all the way through the Super Bowl, including all the bowl games, NFL playoffs, everything. FatJackSports.com. Get signed up today and win this weekend.
All right, Fat Jack. You enjoy the weekend, my friend, and looking forward to getting back to normal somewhat next week here on the show. Appreciate you, Fat Jack.
All right, Pat. Take care. See you soon.
I appreciate you. Fat Jack at FatJackSports.com. Stop losing. Start making money. And do it with a guy who has made money for many, many years. Did you hear his record for college football last week? At least in the early portion? That's insane. 6-0. That just tells me that Fat Jack is just on fire. He is on fire right now. 13-2 for that first week, week 0, which that in itself is absurd. And now you heard what he did last week. How could you doubt the man? Now, all the picks that we had here, all opinion. But if you want to see exactly what he's going with, who he's pitching for his clients, so you can make some big boy money, you got to go to FatJackSports.com. You get signed up today. Appreciate Fat Jack. I know we had to be flexible with him, but we will do everything for Fat Jack at FatJackSports.com. Big fan of him being on the show on a regular basis. Later on this hour, we have our 24 karat gold play of the week. I don't think I'm going to go with a Chiefs play, but we will see on that. It was such a bad weekend last weekend that it's hard to really go with a play then, but we'll see. Hour number 2, we'll have our Davis Moore Chevrolet drive to a victory. K-State fans, how you feeling going into tonight's game against Arizona? We'll have a breakdown of that game at 3:02. 3:25, our first high school athletes of the year for 25 to 26. High school athletes of the week here for the year. I think I might have just minced my words there. And then at the very, very end of the show, we'll do buy or sell and what's on tap. Up next, though, we were talking about the Chiefs and Eagles. You get a little snippet. Now we will break it down a little bit more when we return. Chiefs and Eagles talk. Who's going to win the Super Bowl rematch on Sunday? We'll talk about that next on The Pulse.
You're tuned into The Pulse on ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM.
What's up, Wichita? Can I tell you about my friends at the Wichita Sports Commission? They do a lot of great things. A lot of great things over there. If you don't know about my friends there at the Wichita Sports Commission, let me tell you what they all do. And they do so much more than just what I'm about to say to you. But since 1997, the Wichita Sports Commission has worked to promote, acquire, and support a diversity of youth, amateur, and professional sports programs and events, enhancing the Wichita area economy and quality of life. Sports are more than just games. They are a powerful tool for community building, personal development, and social connection. Wichita Sports Commission, they bring in all sorts of events. One big event that takes place every single year. It's coming up on Sunday, October 12th. You have the Fall Prairie Fire Marathon Races presented by Davis Moore Automotive Group. That's taking place on Sunday, October 12th. Over the course of 15 years, more than 60,000 runners have participated. Over 20 countries represented, everyone from every state. It is truly a remarkable event. If you would like to get involved, if you want to be a runner, or if you just want to be a volunteer, or if you want to go out there and sponsor the event, you can learn more and get signed up today by going to wichitasports.com. Just one of many events that the Wichita Sports Commission puts on. Go and see the impact that they make on a regular basis here in Wichita by going to wichitasports.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. On that heavy shelf you hung yesterday, turns out you didn't use enough anchors. Wait, you didn't use any anchors? Now you've got an open floor plan. Trendy. And if you have the wrong home insurance, you could need a wall of money to fix this. So get home insurance with Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works over time with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget's available in a concentrate or extreme reach hose-in. Purchase Wet and Forget in store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Hey, it's Sean Tarbell with Davis Moore Chevrolet. Chevy Truck Month is here, and that means big savings on all new trucks. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on the 2025 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab 4x4, or save up to $12,000 off MSRP on all 2025 Silverado models. Drive off in the all-new 2025 Chevy Colorado Z71 4x4 and save up to $5,000 off MSRP. Together, let's drive at Davis Moore Chevrolet, located under the big American flag at Kellogg and Tyler, or check us out online at davis-moorechevrolet.com. All offers plus tax, title, tax, and administrative fees expire September 30th, 2025.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Chiefs Kingdom, want to light up your fan cave? Bud Light and ESPN Wichita are teaming up to give away a Chiefs Bud Light neon sign for your football cave. Pay close attention to the Shane Dennis Show in the Pulse with Pat Strathman, and when you hear this sounder, text 316-247-0923 for your chance to win. It's brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the Kansas City Chiefs. Catch the best Chiefs coverage only on ESPN Wichita, 92.3 FM.
Sleep till!
I can tell you one thing. I want to sleep. And it's not because of this song. It's not because of there's nothing going on today or this weekend. It's not because of the weather. It's because I've been put into a food coma. So earlier today, we were surprised by our friends at Tinker Barbecue. If you have listened to the show, you will occasionally hear us do a burnt end of the hour question. Jack will throw out the question. You submit your answers to 316-247-0923. And whoever is the first to get it correctly, you get $20 to Tinker Barbecue. Well, earlier today, they stopped on by and they hooked a brother up. What made me fall in love with them right off the bat was their pork belly burn ends, which they have those on the weekends. Well, the pork belly burn ends were brought in, not just for me. I don't want to be the selfish one here. They were brought for multiple people on staff, but we were surprised with the pork belly burn ends today. Mouth-watering, just deliciousness. You don't need any sauce with them. You just pop it in your mouth and they just melt, and that's a sign of a good burn end to me. He also brought some incredible sides. My wife is a huge fan of their sweet corn casserole. That hooked her. What hooked me was the burn ends. What hooked her was the side. And then, of course, pulled pork and so many other things. Also, that was a big deal as well over there at Tinker Barbecue. But they also brought two other sides. They brought their mac and cheese, and they brought this garlic slaw that might have stolen the show. I know two of the staffers up there were like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know. What do you think it is? It doesn't taste what you would expect, but it was amazing. It was great. And a big hit is one of their specials, pork green chili that they have served with some hot tortillas. It was amazing. I'm full. I want to sleep. That's what I want to do. But let me tell you, if you are looking for an idea for a watch party, you want to get ready for K-State, Arizona, they have the ability to do catering for you. If you need a big order, they can hook you up when it comes to that stuff. If you just want to go there for lunch, feel free. Tinker Barbecue is amazing. And I can't thank them enough for dropping on by and giving us some amazing food. They are located just around the corner from the studio, 620 West Maple. They have specials. They have those beef ribs. They have all sorts of stuff. They're open Tuesday through Saturday from the Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can go and get some amazing food there at Tinker Barbecue. Refuel your tank at Tinker Barbecue. All right, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, shall we? The Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles, it is a rematch of Super Bowl 59 that took place last season. The Chiefs got mollywopped in that football game. It was a major surprise. No one saw that throughout the week when I was talking to individuals. No one really expected that. No one expected that at all. Well, now here we are gearing up for this one, and I think people are surprised with what happened to the Chiefs last week. I was. I'm sure Dylan was as well. But the Chiefs, they played really, really poorly. Everything that could have gone wrong basically did go wrong. Xavier Worthy ends up getting hurt on, the third play offensively for the Kansas City Chiefs. Goes down with that dislocated shoulder. We expect him to be out for multiple weeks. However, he practiced again today with even less padding around his shoulder, so maybe that's a good indicator of him potentially playing coming up on Sunday against the Eagles. And if you're the Chiefs, you're going to need a guy like that to be out there in the football field to go against that very young but also rather solid Philadelphia Eagles defense. Jalen Carter will be available for the game on Sunday. They're calling it a suspension, but it wasn't a suspension. He got ejected from the game last week after spitting on Jalen Hurts. That was spitting on Dak Prescott. That was less than stellar. But he will be available for the game on Sunday, which could be bad news bears for Creed Humphrey, as well as a guy by the name of Trey Smith, or my biggest fear is on that left side with Kingsley Suamataia. Last week, though, the Eagles, they weren't amazing. They weren't the most impressive team in the world. They ended up being the Cowboys, but they didn't cover the 8.5. They won 24-20. Offensively, they ran the ball. Jalen Hurts used his legs, but you didn't really see much of a punch in the passing attack. And last week, the Chiefs, that's where they were vulnerable. They gave up a ton of passing yards. Justin Herbert was on one and made it incredibly difficult on that Kansas City Chiefs secondary, which is going to have to be better for this week. Now, it would appear that Dallas Goedert, there's a good chance that he will be missing this game, which I think he's a security blanket for Jalen Hurts. And if Dallas Goedert isn't out there, then that could be a benefit for the Chiefs, because then you could just lock in on those wide receivers like A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. You can lock in on those two guys and not have to worry about that safety valve that's always out there. But we know what the bread and butter of the Eagles is. The bread and butter of the Eagles is running the football. But keep in mind, in that Super Bowl 59 game, going into it, everyone's concern was, how does Kansas City go about stopping Saquon Barkley? And then Saquon Barkley ended up totaling just 57 yards on 25 carries in that game against the Kansas City Chiefs defense. Is that going to happen again on Sunday? I highly, highly doubt it. I would like to think that Philadelphia will be able to run the football. I am going to be curious to see how Nick Sirianni approaches things a little bit, though, because last week we were all expecting the ground and pound from the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh. They would just run the football, pound it at you for many, many times throughout the game. But then you saw Justin Herbert come out just slinging the ball all over the football field. Does Nick Sirianni get tempted to do something like that with Jalen Hurts? I don't think that would be the best of decisions, but you saw how vulnerable that secondary was last week. If I'm Nick Sirianni, I would probably be tempted a little bit to throw the ball all over the football field to potentially set things up for Saquon Barkley in that rushing attack. The Philadelphia Eagles, they still should be able to run the football. And even if the Chiefs were to slow Saquon Barkley down, I think we all learned what the Philadelphia Eagles were like in Super Bowl 59. Just because they slowed down Saquon Barkley didn't mean that the Eagles didn't go on to just roll, because they had a quarterback in Jalen Hurts who gets a lot of flack. Jalen Hurts gets a ton of flack for being this game-managing quarterback and not being dynamic. The guy's a winner. And at some point, you got to tip your cap and go, that guy has done nothing but win at the National Football League level. That's what he's been able to do. So, yes, can Kansas City slow down the rushing attack? Sure. Should they be able to slow down Saquon Barkley again? They probably can, but that shouldn't be the sole thing that they have to worry about. To me, it's more so about Jalen Hurts and making him uncomfortable, making him feel things on a regular basis. If he's trying to use his legs, make sure to lock him up. We've talked about before going into Super Bowl 59 how the Chiefs need to have that second level tackling. You got to gang tackle. It's what you got to do. You got to have multiple guys there flying to the football to slow down Saquon Barkley, because he's going to break the first tackle more likely than not. But I'm more concerned with the legs of Jalen Hurts rather than Saquon Barkley. Saquon, I think, is going to get what he's going to get. But Jalen Hurts last year was the difference in the football game for the Philadelphia Eagles on that side of the ball. Now, as we take a look at the Kansas City Chiefs offense, what do they got to do in order to be successful to beat the Eagles? You got to eliminate mistakes. I think eliminating penalties would be a great place to start. Jawan Taylor being a big key there for the right side of that offensive line at right tackle. I thought Josh Simmons held up just fine at left tackle last week in his debut for the Chiefs in his rookie season. Kingsley Suamataia wasn't a complete disaster, but they're going to have their work cut out for them this week for sure with Jalen Carter and what the Eagles have up front on the defensive line. Because that defensive line last year did all the work defensively for Philly. Of course, you got to have coverage in the back end too to make you feel confident in just rushing for. The last year in the Super Bowl, you did not see a single blitz from the Philadelphia Eagles. In that game against Patrick Mahomes, they did not send a single blitz. That's how confident they were with that defense. And that defense was able to get to Patrick Mahomes numerous times, made him run over the football field. And Chiefs fans would have flashbacks to what took place in the game in the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the Chiefs are going to have to protect Patrick Mahomes. That's just a given. He wasn't the problem last week, though. The problem last week was the Kansas City Chiefs receivers not being dynamic and explosive enough. And that's why everyone's concerned. If there's no Xavier Worthy, then how are you going to take the top off of that Philadelphia defense? How is that going to happen? Well, Tyquan Thornton and Patrick Mahomes, there seems to be a rapport there. Patrick Mahomes took a couple deep shots, which I think tells me he trusts Tyquan Thornton a little bit more, which the more chances you take downfield, the better that the offense probably will be. The Hollywood Brown's going to have to come up with catches. You can't have drops in this football game. He's going to be huge. Travis Kelce's got to be better as well. I don't want him to be the focal point of the offense. Don't get it twisted now. He's only getting older. It's the supporting cast around him that should make things more effective for Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense. Travis Kelce can't be a main focal point, but he also can't be as bad as he was last week. There was that one moment where he decided to slow down going over the middle, and Patrick Mahomes threw him the ball, and you saw Patrick Mahomes yell at him, trying to say, bro, keep running. Don't slow down. If anything, speed up. I'm going to get you the football. So there was a little bit of that last week, a lot of disjointedness, if that makes sense. Now, will the Chiefs be more cleaned up for this game? Gosh, I hope so. But last week, right off the bat, you saw a team that did not have a ton of energy. And that's a little bit of a concern considering they had all offseason to sit there and think about what the Eagles did to them. I would like to think that the fire will be lit coming up on Sunday afternoon with the Philadelphia Eagles with revenge on their minds. But will that be enough to allow the Kansas City Chiefs to come out on top? I don't know. Chiefs have to eliminate mistakes, hang on to the ball. I would like to see them establish the run a little bit better too.
Or at least try.
Or at least attempt. That's the other aspect, isn't it? At least attempt to try to run the football. Because here's the thing that I find amazing about the Chiefs offensive line, where if you look at pro football grades, which I'm not going to sit here and dive deep into those grades, so on and so forth. But you look at the Chiefs offensive line, you would say that they have guys in the middle like Trey Smith and Kingsley Suamataia. Let's just focus on Kingsley for a moment because Trey Smith can do more than just run block. But Kingsley supposedly, hey, look at his ability to be a run blocker. It's much better. It's just that when he's a pass blocker is where he struggles a little bit. Well, if you think about it, if these guys are all good at run blocking, then theoretically the Chiefs offense should be better at running the football. And last year, how many times did we talk about the Chiefs rushing attack? It wasn't explosive, right? You didn't have runs of 10 or more yards every other down. That didn't happen for the Chiefs last year. And a lot of people are still honing in on that fact, the fact that the Chiefs rushing attack is not explosive. But there are times last year when you needed to be the more physical team and get 2 yards, 3 yards. You run the football with Kareem Hunt, and you would find a way to get those 2 to 3 yards, and the Chiefs would move the chains to keep the drive rolling. If the Chiefs' offensive line has better run blockers, you would think the rushing attack would have been much better last week against the LA Chargers. But simply put, it wasn't. But I also think, too, though, as you brought up, they didn't really attempt to really establish the run. But they're going to have to try to be a little bit more balanced against this Philadelphia Eagles team. They're going to have to be. They're going to have to be that way. So if the Chiefs, if they are going to come out on top, to me, contain Jalen Hurts is the most important thing. I get it. Saquon Barkley's the dude. I understand. He's the guy. But we saw what happened last year when they contained him. It didn't matter because the Chiefs still got their teeth kicked in. And you know why? It was because Jalen Hurts was spot on. Maybe give that guy a little bit more recognition. Acknowledge him. Acknowledge him. The guy won a Super Bowl last year. He's done nothing but once since he's been in the NFL. I don't care that he doesn't fit the typical profile of a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes. That guy knows how to win. Tried to rattle his cage a little bit because I think his legs are just as important as the legs of one Saquon Barkley. And then the Chiefs up front, they're going to have to do a much better job, obviously, protecting Mahomes. If the Philadelphia Eagles are going to sit back and just drop 8 in the coverage and just rely on 4 guys to go after Patrick Mahomes again, and if they have success early on that way, could be a long day in Kansas City. It could be a long day in Kansas City. The recipe for the Eagles to get a double-digit win, to me, is there. The Chiefs, I don't think they have as many ways to win this football game like the Philadelphia Eagles would going into the Super Bowl 59 rematch coming up on Sunday afternoon. What else you want to throw in there, Dylan? I know you just hopped in talking about the Chiefs' inability to run the football or the lack of trying to run the football. What else catches your eye going into this game on Sunday afternoon?
Well, I mean, the Chiefs seemingly are just allergic to playing on time offensively. It seems to be just, hey, we'll drop back. Oh, nothing's there. Scramble around, try to hit somebody on the run. It's like, can we just run an offense and try to run within the parameters of that offense? You watch every other team in the league have success, throwing the ball, 3-step drop, ball's out. And I'm not trying to blame Pat because, I mean, obviously Pat's such a good player.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like everything's just out of whack, and it has been since the Super Bowl, and even at times last year, most of the year last year, it was just very unorganized. Just I don't know what's going on offense, but Pat is good enough to cover all the holes and make it work. I'd love to just see them come out focused, play intense, tackle, block, run the football a little bit better, and just play on time and run the offense. I mean, when was the last time we could just say, oh, man, the ball was out on time, we were in rhythm, we were getting up to the line of scrimmage, and we were running an effective offense, running and passing the football? It's been forever. So I would love to see that. And maybe I'm just looking for something that we don't do anymore, but who knows? That's what I want. As somebody who just started coaching football, that would be nice to see.
Oh, okay, there you go. Now I feel like we got to get into Coach Dylan Brett here. We might have to throw in the coach part. 2-0, Dylan Brett says. 2-0. All right, then. Look, I have the Eagles in this. I know you said the Chiefs are going to bounce back. I just think there's enough there to worry about from the Philadelphia Eagles to where
agree more. I'm as concerned as you are. I was saying yesterday, if the Chiefs win this game, I think it'll be by 3 or 4 points. If the Eagles have the chance to win this game by 20.
They do. Yeah.
And that's concerning and it's frustrating going into the game, especially I'll get back into last week for 1 second. We always hear, oh, Andy's the best out of bye weeks. And statistically he is. And he's been great in week 1 since he's been the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. That was awful last week in terms of coming out of the long off season. You're playing a primetime game. I'm not going to make the travel the excuse. The Chargers traveled further away, and they played the best game we've seen them play with Herbert maybe ever.
Yeah.
So that's not an excuse. It was bad from the top down last week. And the Chiefs have been so good for so long. I have a feeling, and this might be the huge Chiefs fan in me, I got a feeling they're going to play better this week.
I would think the energy level, because all week long, all off seasons, what we heard about how these guys would be motivated, and they came out extremely flat. They were extremely unprepared. I think that was the other thing.
They had to be embarrassed. If they had to be embarrassed by that.
Well, and here's the other thing I would throw out there too: the fact that you saw Travis Kelce get after Juwan Taylor, Chris Jones gets barked at by Drew Tranquill. I
deservingly so on both counts.
I couldn't help but just go, are you seeing the cracks already with this Kansas City Chiefs team? Like, I think they're more mentally tough than you think, but I just got to say, like, those things that I see in week one, just something to think about, something to ponder as we'll see what they do coming up on Sunday there against the Philadelphia Eagles. So we will see. We'll see how it goes. I'm glad you're going to be out there. It should be a bunch of fun. For those that are listening, if you do want to go watch the game on the big screen, you can catch it at Boulevard Theaters at Old Town. It's completely for free, and they got a ton of good food options. Go and be a part of that out there at Boulevard Theaters at Old Town. Real quick, Chiefs, Eagles, we saw a bunch of predictions already. I encourage you to send your score prediction to 316-247-0923. Whoever is closest to the final score, you will win a Spice Bucket courtesy of Real Life Kitchen. Spice up your meals with Real Life Kitchen. Their premium spices are 100% natural with no sugar and no MSG. Discover bold flavors that are better for you. Visit Real Life Kitchen on Facebook or at reallifekitchen.com. If you would like to participate, send in your final score for the Eagles and Chiefs. Tell me who wins and what the score is going to be. Text 316-247-0923. Text your final score to 316-247-0923. Tell me who wins, and you will be entered to win a Spice Bucket, courtesy of Real Life Kitchen. Do it now. Text your final score for the Eagles and Chiefs. What's the score? Closest to the score will get a Spice Bucket. The spices are incredible, people. You will get a Spice Bucket from Real Life Kitchen. Text 316-247-0923. Up next, our 24-karat gold play of the week, brought to you by Phil's Coins.
The heartbeat of Wichita sports fans. The Pulse on ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM.
Get ready to power up your weekends at Rock and Brews Casino Bremen. It's Power Up Progressives every Friday and Saturday in September, excluding September 27th. From 8 to 10 p.m., we're drawing for $1,000 cash. But here's the twist. If the winner doesn't show up, the cash rolls over to the next drawing. That means bigger wins every weekend. Earn entries for just 75 points on your card. The more you play, the more chances to win. Rock and Brews Casino Bremen, I-35, exit 231. 8-win, rock on.
Tricked out, decked out, check us out. Truck Stuff.
You've probably already heard that Truck Stuff is the place to go to lift, level, or lower your truck. And of course, we have an enormous in-stock selection of bed covers, running boards, and floor mats. But did you know that we do wheels and tires, gear swaps, and spray and bed liners? Stop by today to deck out your ride at Truck Stuff at the corner of Central and Washington.
Tricked out, decked out, check us out. Truck Stuff.
If you're craving a taco with a touch of tradition, stop by Taco Pronto. Family owned and operated for 55 years, Taco Pronto makes all their food in-house using the freshest ingredients at prices you can't beat. Drive through today and take advantage of Taco Pronto's daily specials, or grab a 12-pack of tacos for only $11.99. Taco Pronto, located at 8385 West 21st Street North, or order online at TacoProntoWichita.com.
Taco Pronto, old-fashioned service.
Football Sunday on ESPN Radio. Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos.
Nix over the middle, 10 to the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown.
When it comes to passion for the game, I think I bring those at a really high level.
Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts.
I don't think it was surprising to us. Now the challenge is to grow with it and continue to develop as a team.
Both 1-0. and they go head-to-head at Lucas Oil Stadium. Coverage begins Sunday at 4 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Your radio home of the NFL, ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM.
This is what the Chiefs need to play on Sunday. Get them all jacked up. I get fired up every time I listen to this song. Every single time. It never fails. Never fails. Hour 2 is approaching. Seriously, hour 2 is almost here. It's been flying by. Keep those score predictions coming. Don't miss your chance to get in on this lovely contest. 316-247-0923. Before we get to the second hour, let's get to our 24-karat gold play of the week. Brought to you by Phil's Coins in Bullion. Searching for a timeless investment in these unpredictable times? Look no further than Phil's Coins in Bullion. 9344 West Central. In a world of uncertainty, invest with confidence. Experience the trust and reliability at Phil's Coins in Bullion. I cannot, in good faith, choose a play in which the Chiefs lose, the Jayhawks lose, the Wildcats lose. I'm not going to choose a single play for those teams because they all lost. I don't want to sit here and pick the 59-yard fire drill. I don't want to do that. Instead, I'm going to go with something that actually took place a couple days ago. So the Wind Surge, they lost yesterday to the Corpus Christi Hooks. And Tulsa ended up losing 2, so there was an opportunity for them to actually be tied with 3 games to play. But instead, they lost. But the day before, it looked like the Wind Surge would be 2 games behind the Tulsa Drillers. But if it wasn't for Harry Ginth, it all would have been different. He ends up getting a monster home run there in the 9th. And then there was Ricardo Olivar. He also was a part of it too. But Harry Ginth, his second professional home run, ended up being a big play for the Wind Surge to stay in the hunt for a potential postseason spot. Down a game with 3 to play. We'll keep you posted on Monday, obviously, next week, whether or not there's playoffs here in Wichita. But Harry Ginth, the home run in the 9th inning, ends up being my 24-karat gold play of the week. Dylan, do you have anything to add?
I'll say Derrick Henry's fumble on Sunday Night Football. I think that changed a lot of things.
That's
Baltimore
pretty big.
looked like world beaters before that. They looked like they were far and away the best team in maybe the AFC, maybe the NFL, and it's amazing how one play can change a lot of perspective.
I thought Matt Prater might have been the field goal. Might have been the play of the week. That was cool. Yeah. That was pretty sweet. He was kind of like you. He was coaching football, then he got the phone call. Yeah. Although you never got the call.
I don't think I'm getting a phone call, though. That's the one main difference.
I know. That is the difference. Okay, 24-karat gold play of the week. Hour 1 flew by. Hour 2, we'll give you a chance to win Kansas lottery tickets and maybe a Chiefs sounder to potentially win a Bud Light neon sign. Stay tuned. Hour 2, straight ahead.
It's rivalry night out west. ESPN Wichita's high school game of the week, presented by Commerce Bank, brings you the War on 54 as the Goddard Lions take on the Eisenhower Tigers on September 12th. Our coverage kicks off with the Four Seasons RV pregame show at 6:30 with kickoff at 7 o'clock on ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM and streaming on the ESPN Wichita app. It's an in-town showdown with the Lions and the Tigers in the War on 54, only on ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM.
Great news, Derby. Ribbit Computer Services has expanded to 2100 North Rock Road, bringing expert phone repairs and top-tier tech support to your neighborhood. Cracked screen, battery issues, watery damage, we fix it all. Fast, affordable, and reliable. Our newest location is ready to handle iPhones, Androids, and more. Don't let phone troubles slow you down. Stop by Ribbit and Derby today and see why we're the go-to tech experts for all your repair needs.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
Today on Hey Culligan Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey, Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Hey, AK, it's me, TK.
What's up, TK? It's me, AK, Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. Travis, if you could tell people how to support your charity, what would you say?
Grab my 87 and running concrete at Andy's.
87 and Running is such a wonderful charity that we created a special treat just for the cause. It has the world's finest vanilla frozen custard, Oreos, cookie dough, caramel, and the best part, a portion of the proceeds from every one sold helps 87 and Running.
It's a cool way to support our vulnerable youth in Kansas City and beyond.
Whether you're hosting the big game, tailgating with friends, or just celebrating your favorite team, Auburn Spirits and Auburn Wine and Spirits have everything you need. Stock up on ice-cold beer, your favorite spirits, and wines that will make every kickoff, touchdown, and victory taste even better. Make Auburn Spirits at 135th and Maple and Auburn Wine and Spirits at 320 North Rock Road your game day headquarters. Auburn Spirits and Auburn Wine and Spirits, where your winning season begins. Celebrate local with Auburn and visit us at auburnspirits.com.
Wichita's news sports leader, ESPN Wichita, 92.3 FM, KKGQ, Newton.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Ed Mencken. We start with injury news from the NFL. Chiefs receiver Xavier Worthy is listed as doubtful for the game against the Eagles on Sunday. Coach Andy Reid says there is a slim chance Worthy could play. Bills defensive tackle Ed Oliver is out for Sunday's game against the Jets after someone accidentally stepped on Oliver during practice on Wednesday. Sources tell ESPN's Adam Schefter the injury could extend beyond this week. Colts quarterback Javarius Ward won't play against the Broncos on Sunday as he recovers from a concussion. The Niners already know they'll be without Brock Purdy, so Mac Jones will get to start a quarterback against the Saints. The ESPN Radio's Chris Candy says other injuries may make it tougher for Jones.
They can win games without Brock Purdy. I don't know if they can win games without George Kittle. I don't know if they can win games without their receiving core being fully healthy. I don't know if they can win games without everybody on the defense being at full strength. That's the problem.
Saints defensive end Chase Young and guard Trevor Penny have both been ruled out for Sunday's game. Rams right guard Kevin Dotson will play against the Titans on Sunday. The Falcons receivers Drake London and Darnell Mooney will play against the Vikings. Baseball, fifth inning. Cubs lead the race 6-4 at Wrigley. Chicago trails Milwaukee by 5.5 games in the NL Central race.
Hey, it's resident Super Bowl champ Chris Candy coming up Monday from week 2 in the NFL to 3 youth games in college football. I'll recap it all in my upon further review at 7 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike weekday mornings at 6 right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
It's just a public service announcement sponsored by Just Blaze and the good folks at Rockefeller Records.
Fellow Americans, it is with the utmost pride and sincerity that I present this recording as a living testament and recollection of history in the making during our generation.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho, H to the OV. I used to move snowflakes by the OC.
Welcome back. One more hour to go. Hard to believe that we are already 60 minutes deep here on a Friday edition of The Pulse on Wichita Sports Leader. ESPN Wichita, 92.3 FM, the home of high school athletics. We have high school football game of the week tonight, presented by Commerce Bank. We'll have our high school athletes of the week in a little bit. We have college football coming up tomorrow. That's right, your home of college football, ESPN Wichita as well. And, oh, yeah, do we have a doubleheader for NFL on Sunday? Of course we do. Plus, the best Chiefs pregame show around. Not to mention, we have What Are the Chances on Sunday. Yeah, your home of just all things football. It's right here on ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM. Streaming online at espnwichita.com. Stream from your favorite smart speaker. Tell it to tune into ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM or KKGQ. You can also stream by downloading the ESPN Wichita app. I was talking to someone about how awesome apps are. Ours is pretty damn spectacular as well, so make sure to download it to your smartphone. Apple or Android, doesn't matter. It's going to work just fine on those two different platforms. Something else you can do, you can drop on by on our social media platforms. We are video streaming. Hello. Just wave at the camera. You can find us on X. If you are a Facebook person, we're on there as well. Some of you have checked us out on YouTube, which is awesome. Thank you for doing that. No comments today yet, but let me tell you, if you drop a comment and it's nice and it's not poorly written, I might just put that comment up on the screen so everyone can see what's going on behind the scenes, I suppose. So feel free to comment. I'll be more than happy to put it up on the screen for everyone to see. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Pat Strathman, filling in for Jack Johnson, who you will hear from here at 4 o'clock. Producer Dylan Brett. 316-669-4996. If you are so fired up for this weekend and you just can't contain your excitement, you just have to get it off your chest, feel free to dial 316-669-4996. I guess you can also get it off your chest by texting us. It's just a little bit different. Probably not as satisfying, right? Hit us up on the text line, though, 316-247-0923. A bunch of score predictions for the Chiefs and the Eagles. If you missed it, let me tell you once again, we are doing a contest. You pick closest to the score is going to win a bucket filled with some awesome spices, courtesy of Real Life Kitchen. I see probably a decent amount of Philly, but it's probably more 60-40. So some people are optimistic thinking about the Chiefs for Sunday. You got to text me your score for this to count. Text 316-247-0923. Who wins as well? That's very important. Make sure you throw that in there as well. You can also interact on social media. But I'm not going to lie. If you're going to interact on social media, do it while we're live streaming. Don't just send a message, a tweet, or on Instagram for that matter. All right, here in a little bit, we have our high school athletes of the week. First ones for 25-26, already getting a substantial amount of traction on social media already, which we love to see because we love to give high school athletes their due. After that, we will do buy or sell, plus what's on tap, brought to you by Busch Light. Before we get into tonight's game, K-State in Arizona, let me tell you about Twin Peaks. If you are going to catch K-State in Arizona, I have a good place for you. It's late at night. Some of you might want to be just at the house, and that's fine if that's the case. But let me spice up your experience. The way you spice it up is by going to Twin Peaks, where you will have a great atmosphere. The food is always spot on. And if you want some late night eats, they have something for you as well. But also, if you want to check out one of their many drinks on the drink menu that they have, you should do that too. I'm a fan of 29-degree man-sized drafts, but some of you might prefer a cocktail. They got it all at Twin Peaks. 2 locations in Wichita. You have Ridge and Taft out west, out east, 21st and Rock. Today is also a special day at Twin Peaks because you need to raise your glass to the start of Oktoberfest and keep it raised for their authentic Stein hoisting competition. Join in on Fridays in September at 6 p.m. this month for your chance to win weekly prizes and Sam Adams swag. Coming up on September 14, superstar Canelo Alvarez will take on the undefeated Edgar Berlanga for the undisputed super middleweight championship. The bout takes place in Las Vegas. It goes down at 7 o'clock. Catch it at Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, and scenic views. Now we're talking. I'm seeing a bunch of texts now coming in for predictions for the game on Sunday. Closest to the score will get you a nice little prize. Time now for the Davis Moore Chevrolet Drive to a Victory. Chevy Truck Month is here, and that means big savings on all new trucks. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on the 2025 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab 4x4, or save up to $12,000 off MSRP on all 2025 Silverado models. Drive off in the all-new 2025 Chevrolet Colorado Z71 4x4 and save up to $5,000 off MSRP. Together, let's drive to Davis Moore Chevrolet, located under the big American flag at Kellogg and Tyler, or visit them online at davis-moorechevrolet.com. Already have one K-State fan chiming in. K-State fans, how you feeling going into the game tonight in Tucson? Please hit up the text line, would you? 316-247-0923. K-State's offensive line has been atrocious at run blocking, and I am worried getting Dylan Edwards back won't have the effect fans hope. Well, you're on to something, Texter, because I have said something like that throughout this week. Just because you're getting Dylan Edwards back doesn't mean all of a sudden the rushing attack is completely fixed. Dylan Edwards, first and foremost, how effective is Dylan Edwards going to be? Can he drive K-State to a victory? Him alone, can he do it? I think he might open up a little bit more with Avery Johnson, at least to me. I think the number one complaint for this K-State offense so far has been Avery Johnson, not his inability to throw the football, but just how he's not rushing effectively. And I'm not using this as an excuse, K-State fans, but I just wonder. You have a guy like DJ Giddens last year who's a bell cow. You can just hand the ball off to him. And Dylan Edwards last year was using a different way. But Avery Johnson, I felt like, was able to be more effective last year as a runner because he probably had an effective runner to go with him. You have, no offense to Joe Jackson, no offense to the other tailbacks that they have, but we know this about Dylan Edwards before, to where he's not the DJ Giddens where you're going to go pound for pound between the tackles and have him just slam into the back of an offensive lineman. That's not the type of runner that Dylan Edwards is. That's just not it. However, he is more of a home run hitter. That's what Dylan Edwards is. He's got the capability of breaking off a 70-yard run. All he needs is a crease. He hits it. If it's well blocked, then he could be gone for a 70-yard touchdown. I would think that if Dylan Edwards has that type of speed and you have to be that concerned with him, I wonder if K-State would be more comfortable in trying to play off of that and trying to use that as more of a decoy that very well could help out Avery Johnson. Just a thought. I don't know if that's going to be true or not. I hope that they use Avery Johnson a little bit more for the QB run game. I hope they're a little bit more intentional with it. But I almost wonder, though, if there's a reason for that. I'm just spinning out there. I don't know. I can't go inside the minds of these coaches. I can't tell you what's going on there in the locker room. I can't tell you any of that. But I do know that when you have an effective 1-2 punch, you take out the 2 or the 1, and then all of a sudden it blows up what you really want to accomplish. With Dylan Edwards being back, and if he's effective, does that help Avery Johnson and the effectiveness of running the football? But Texter, you bring up the big point here, and that is the offensive line. So far through 3 games, I mentioned this, what was it, on Wednesday, where if you look at the yards gained before contact, I think last year the average was 2.5 yards downfield, maybe 2.6, 2.7. DJ Giddens could have the ball, or whoever's running the football can get basically 3 yards before being touched. This year, so far, through 3 games, I think the average has shrunk to 1.6, which that tends to be a pretty big difference there. The offensive line is going to have to produce. And Texter, that's where I was going to go for what's going to drive Kansas State to a victory tonight over the Arizona Wildcats. The offensive line's got to be able to generate some push. But you could also make the argument, too, about defense. It could come down to defense tonight for these two teams. Two teams that are in very different places. You have the Wildcats, Kansas State. I need to just eliminate Wildcats for this particular matchup because both teams have the mascot Wildcat. You have Kansas State going into the season with Big 12 championship hopes, a lot of guys back, everyone thinking it's going to be a Big 12 championship season, and hard not to think that way considering the amount of talent was back there for Kansas State. But now a disappointing start at 1-2. Meanwhile, you have Arizona, a team that very much disappointed last year with a first-year head coach. And now here they are with no expectations at 2-0, a very confident team after steamrolling their first 2 opponents. Now, their first 2 opponents probably wouldn't stack up with the teams that Kansas State has faced, although I would probably remove North Dakota and just focus on Iowa State and Army. I think those 2 teams probably could do damage with the 2 teams that Arizona has faced so far at this point. But Arizona has no expectations going into this year, playing loose, playing free, and as much talent that Kansas State had returning, Arizona completely overturned that roster. They completely flipped it. They, going into this year, according to Max Olson of ESPN, they are ranked 4th among Power 4 programs and 2nd in the Big 12 in experience added via the transfer portal. Zona brought in 27 transfers. That brought in 403 starts at other Division I schools. Doesn't mean all those guys are worth a darn, but it just goes to show you, though, what Arizona had to do. They had a bad season, and they completely overhauled the roster. They still have their quarterback in Noah Fafita. He's still there. He's looking like a quarterback that threw for nearly 3,000 yards and 25 touchdowns in 2023. Last year, he was very up and down. But so far this year, his completion rate at 67%. His yards per attempt are up, ranking 3rd nationally this year. Arizona had to switch their offensive coordinator, so maybe that's helped out things as well for Noah Fafita. The opponents have not been great, but so far he has looked better, and that's without a guy who is now in the NFL. You wonder what he would be like here for this year. So far, so good there for Noah Fafita. I think both defenses, though, are probably not that great. But for Arizona, I think you expected them not to be great. For Kansas State, you expected them to maybe be the strength of the team. We thought last year that the defense would be the strength of the team, and turns out they ended up being a pretty big part of it. Well, the Wildcats, they entered the 2025 season. I'm talking about Arizona. See, this is what happens here. Arizona gave up 32 points per game last year. Now, they faced not so great competition, but they have yet to allow a touchdown, so they're going to feel confident, and they're holding opponents to just 3.6 yards per play. A little bit different for that K-State defense that I thought was okay in the first half against Army, but second half clearly just couldn't get off the football field. And that's a K-State defense where you look at the front seven, and hey, the front seven should be a strong suit for Kansas State, and then they couldn't get off the field, couldn't come up with a big stop that you needed against the Army rushing attack. So you could make the argument that what drives Kansas State to a victory tonight would be the defense. But to me, if you want to be known as a gritty team, a tough team, the offensive line has to be the ones to set the tone. The offensive line has to do that. And sure, you could probably say the same thing defensively. Battle the trenches. It's college football after all. Whoever's going to be better in the trenches, more likely than not, is probably going to win the football game. But if you are searching for an identity in some ways, trying to become a tougher team, well, the offensive line's got to set the tone. And hopefully they can do that tonight against Arizona. Texter, I'm right there with you. What drives Kansas State to a victory tonight is the play of the offensive line. Dylan Edwards being back, hey, that's all fine and dandy. But they got to block for the guy. They have to. So what drives Kansas State to a win? The offensive line against this Arizona team on the road in Tucson. Dylan, in your opinion, what drives Kansas State to a victory?
I think you nailed it. Just having a running back come back doesn't mean much if he doesn't have anywhere to run. And it's odd to have a K-State team not play very fundamentally sound. I feel like that's kind of their calling card, at least, is kind of how I always realize, or I always think of them. So, defense step up and block and make holes up front for Dylan Edwards. I don't know much about Arizona. I know they had a poor year last year.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, they got a bunch of new guys, and who knows in college football nowadays, you can have so much roster turnover. But I picked Arizona earlier with the points. But yeah, K-State runs the football and is effective on offense and tackles a little bit better and plays a little bit better defense. I think they could win this game.
Well, they're going to have to be better defensively. So Arizona does have a transfer tailback, Ismail Mahdi. He is a transfer who spent 2 years at Texas State and had 1 year at Houston Christian. He actually boasts one of the most productive careers in the nation. He actually ranks among the top 5 active career leaders with 3,600 all-purpose yards, averaging 88.7 yards per game on the ground, and then 135.19 all-purpose yards per game. So he could do a little bit of everything. But Arizona does have so many new pieces, and the Arizona Wildcats expected them to win the first 2 games, but they looked pretty darn good in the first 2 games against the first 2 opponents that they faced. Doesn't mean they were quality opponents, but they did what they needed to do, gain some confidence, and now they have Kansas State for tonight. Now, Arizona and Kansas State, whoever loses does not mean that the team's going to have a blemish with the Big 12 conference record. Now, Kansas State already has one with a loss to Iowa State. We know that. But this game comes from a home-and-home series that was created back in, 2016? And for anyone that knows college football, you sign an opponent early, and then you play them like 6 years later. That's just the way that it goes. And now the Arizona and Kansas State in the same conference, both the athletic directors thought, you know what, let's keep this game on the schedule so that way you don't have to worry about finding someone at the last minute. Kansas State is favored by 1.5 points for the night. I think what drives Kansas State to a win is up front on the offensive line. This week, huge in terms of preparation, and it could be huge for the entire season for the Kansas State Wildcats. Because you lose this one, then you really have to play for perfect. You already do have the pressure of having to play perfect now moving forward. I just don't know if Kansas State's going to be able to do that. Hopefully a road trip will get this team to unite, and everyone will be on the same page in the locker room, and we'll see them go out there with a lot of fire. However, for those who have been following along all throughout the week, former K-State Wildcat, who's now a part of Arizona, Trey Spivey, he had something to say about Kansas State last year. Every time something went bad, heads would go down. And he basically used his platform to give Kansas State bulletin board material. We'll see if the Wildcats, Kansas State that is, can use it to their advantage coming up tonight in Tucson, Arizona. Coming up next, we have our high school athletes of the week. But first, let me give away Kansas lottery tickets. I need you to text the word lottery to 316-247-0923. Text the word lottery to 316-247-0923 and win $30 in Chiefs Kingdom scratch tickets, where you may have a chance to win a KC Chiefs Ultimate Experience. Prizes include 2 different flyaway trips, a sweet game, season tickets for the 25-26 season, or a Draft Fest experience. To be eligible for the drawings, enter Chiefs Kingdom scratch tickets into the Kansas Lottery Play On Loyalty Program. Text the word lottery to 316-247-0923. Lottery to 316-247-0923 for your chance to win $30 in Chiefs Kingdom scratch tickets. I might have one other giveaway later on this hour. We'll tell you more about that when it's time. But up next, we'll get to our first high school athletes of the week for 25-26. That's next on The Pulse.
The heartbeat of Wichita sports fans. The Pulse on ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM.
And Dylan will go Kedrick first, and then Bree.
Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the Kansas City Chiefs. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, it's Sean Tarbell with Davis Moore Chevrolet. Chevy Truck Month is here, and that means big savings on all new trucks. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on the 2025 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab 4x4, or save up to $12,000 off MSRP on all 2025 Silverado models. Drive off in the all-new 2025 Chevy Colorado Z71 4x4 and save up to $5,000 off MSRP. Together, let's drive at Davis Moore Chevrolet, located under the big American flag at Kellogg and Tyler, or check us out online at davis-moorechevrolet.com. All offers plus title tax and administrative fees expire September 30th, 2025.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. On that heavy shelf you hung yesterday, turns out you didn't use enough anchors. Wait, you didn't use any anchors? Now you've got an open floor plan. Trendy. And if you have the wrong home insurance, you could need a wall of money to fix this. So get home insurance with Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin. This is Matt Crowder, live at the gas station on 41st Street, reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute, are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LOT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or any gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LOT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LOT.
Protect your playbook and your business with Red Axe Shredding. From paper to hard drives, they securely destroy it all. From home offices to large businesses, Red Axe offers secure on-site and off-site shredding you can trust. Fast, affordable, and 100% confidential. Call Red Axe Shredding today at 316-869-2215 or visit redaxe.co. Trust the pros. Shred with Red Axe.
Sunday on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. NFC East foes collide in Week 2 as the Dallas Cowboys host the New York Giants. Hi, this is Ted Emmerich. Join Steve Berline and me for all the action as the Cowboys and Giants look for their first win of the season. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
Wichita's home for the Dallas Cowboys. ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM.
It is officially back. High school athletes of the week. And boy, are we excited for the return of high school athletes of the week here on the Pulse. It is brought to you by Great Clips with 18 salons in the Wichita metro area, El Dorado, Hutch, Wichita, including one less than a mile from our studio. Check in online by downloading the Great Clips app. They do fantastic work over there. And I know Chance Lebo is a big supporter of Great Clips. Go see your friends at Great Clips. And also, High School Athletes of the Week brought to you by Distinct Ink. Get noticed with this Distinct Ink. When it comes to quality apparel and promotional items, trust the Distinct Ink, powering Distinct Locker. They are dedicated to helping your brand shine with top-notch products and unmatched service. And they do that for us on a regular basis. For gear that makes a statement and a partner you can depend on, choose the Distinct Ink. Be unforgettable. Contact them today. Our first ones here for the 25-26 athletic year. Let's start with the male athlete of the week, Kedrick Harrison of Southeast. The Golden Buffalo ends up running for 154 and 2 touchdowns, had the game-winning 2-point conversion to seal the first win over South since 2013. Here is Chance Lebo with our high school male athlete of the week, Kedrick Harrison.
Joined now by our first male high school athlete of the year for the year. We're out here at Southeast High School for the football team. It's Kedrick Harrison, as he had 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a big rivalry win over South this last week. Kedrick, what did that rivalry win mean for you guys?
That rivalry, it missed a lot, actually. 2013, that's a long time. So just us coming out there and beating them, winning, we just did what we can do.
Mm-hmm. And obviously starting the year 1-0 is a big step in the right direction for you guys. What was kind of the motivation going into this game against your rival in South, and also wanting to get off to a 1-0 start?
Well, us sticking together, having that group chat, that just brought us a lot closer than what we was last year. So we just making it work, do what we can do.
Mm-hmm. And you guys last year go 2-7, but a lot of kids returning from first-year head coach. What do you guys feel like you improved upon this offseason?
We improved upon a lot, like just our being violent off the ball, physicalist, yeah.
Yeah, and for you, what was your major focus this offseason? Because a lot of time you'll see players take leaps from their sophomore to junior year. That's kind of the same for you. What did you kind of work on this offseason?
My form and running. I did track this year for like the first time, and yeah, that's all I did. Really.
Yeah. What did you learn from track? How did that help?
My hips. I didn't know, like, when you run, it's all in your hips. So I was working a lot of hip mobility. Mm-hmm. Getting off the ground, getting explosiveness, all of that.
Yeah. And I'm kind of new to Wichita, South and Southeast. I would imagine that's a pretty big rivalry. Would you agree with that it's probably your guys' biggest rival?
Yeah, one of our biggest rivals, other than Heights.
Yeah. And for you, for the team, what was the locker room like? What was the environment like after the game? I'm sure it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. We had the music going, a lot of things going. Just us being kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who's on aux court when you guys have a celebration music? Is it Coach Millison? Who's on the aux?
It's either Coach Millison or I'll say Jazeer or Martell.
This offseason, what did you guys feel like you changed a little bit in the offense? Because you said that you guys still run the option, but it's a little bit different than it was last year.
It's just a little different, like getting our steps, our keys, where we need to be, getting into the offense, basically.
And being around this team, you've been around this team a lot, I'm sure, during the summer and also during fall camp. What do you feel like makes this team so special? What makes you guys click?
I don't know. We just all come together. We all got our different ways, but once we all get clicked up together, it's like our chemistry is there. We're there.
And what's it like playing for Coach Millison? What's he like as a coach?
Great coach. I mean, I've met a lot of coaches. Coach Millison, he's definitely one of the coaches.
Yeah. And for you, when did you start playing football? How did you get your start playing football?
And I started in kindergarten playing for the Colts. Coach Jermaine.
Mm-hmm.
He taught me a lot. I didn't know how to play at first. Like, I was terrible, like literally.
Yeah.
I didn't want to play, and then I just got in the groove of it. And then I started as an old lineman, and then I went to running back. That's when it really started from there.
Yeah, and kind of talk about, you talked about you made the change going from offensive line to running back. What was that kind of like for you? How'd you get that?
I like my dad. It was my dad at first. Like he was saying I could run. I was like a little chunkier, so he was saying I could run though. Like, and I ran the ball like 3 times, and that's when it really started. Like I think I like broke like 3 tackles. I got like a 15-yard. I don't know something. And it made the coach look at me. Yeah. I guess he wanted me to play running back, and that's when it really all started.
And what's something that you feel like that you enjoy the most about football?
Just the team, like us getting together, playing the game. It's just the game. I just love the game. Just love the game.
Yeah. What's some of your goals for the season, whether those be team goals or for you personally?
Me personally, I say I want to be Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying. I'm gonna make it happen too. So
yeah. What's a pregame routine look like for you? Are you kind of do you like to watch film? Do you like to, what do you like to do to prepare for a game?
I like watching film, tape, the usual. Yeah, film. I'm a film guy. I'll sit there and watch film the whole time until the game starts.
Yeah. And this week you guys have Bishop Carroll on the docket, another team that in the league. What's kind of the preparation been like this week? I know we're recording this on Wednesday, so you only gotten a couple days of prep. What's the preparation been like for Bishop Carroll?
It's been good. We've been all focused, dialed in, watching their film. They're probably watching or doing the same thing, so we just got to come harder. We know they're disciplined. We're coming disciplined and physically.
Yeah. Outside of football and obviously track, now that you run track, what are some things that you like to do for fun?
Riding around. I got a car now, so I just like driving.
Nice. What kind of car are we talking about?
A Lincoln. I got a Lincoln Navigator.
Okay. That's pretty classy. And for you, what's a fun fact about you, something that somebody may not know about you?
I like I like cartoons.
Just about over here.
What's your favorite cartoon? Cartoons are awesome. I'm a big cartoon guy as well. What's your favorite cartoon?
Courage the Cowardly Dog Show.
Okay. Well, Kedrick, thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck this week. Congratulations on being our male high school athlete of the week.
Yes, sir.
I'm loving the fact that we got cartoon talk for our first high school athlete of the week segment. Fantastic. Kedrick Harrison from Southeast Football. Speaking of Carroll, that is where we go for our high school female athlete of the week. Bree Martin for Carroll Volleyball. She was the defensive MVP of the Hayes tournament, a key piece to a 9-0 start for the Bishop Carroll Golden Eagles. Here is Chance Lebo with our high school female athlete of the week, Bree Martin.
Joined now by our female high school athlete of the week here at Bishop Carroll High School. It's Bree Martin after a undefeated start for Bishop Carroll. She's been a key part of that. Bree, kind of talk about the tournament this week in Hayes and just the start of the season you guys have had.
We started the season off really well with winning the Hayes tournament. Our record's 9-0. Our team chemistry is really well this year, and we have a lot of individual talent, but basically our team's just good.
Yeah. Talk about what's been going into that team chemistry. I mean, it's kind of the same team as last year. Not a whole lot of seniors graduated, kind of the same team this year. Has that helped you guys early in the season?
Yes. Our team chemistry definitely, we've grown up together, so it's a lot easier to get to, know each other. And, yeah. Yeah.
And being a senior, kind of having that leadership role in the team, how do you feel like you've been a leader for this team as the libero?
Definitely encouraging everyone, telling everyone communicate better. We basically just work a lot in practice, bonding together and just helping each other grow individually.
Yeah. Got to talk a little bit about the tournament this weekend. What was really going well for you guys and for you individually as well?
Our defense was really well, which all helps the offense. Our serve receive was solid, and that's easy to put the ball away. And we have a lot of strong hitters this year, so that helps on offense.
Yeah. And talk about your role as the libero, kind of being flexible as a player and being able to maneuver around a little bit. How does that versatility help the team, especially being experienced like you are?
Definitely overall, with the defense part, getting ups and talking on the court helps the offense. But
yeah. And you guys last year had a really good year, but weren't able to punch your ticket to state. Did that bad taste kind of motivate you guys coming into this season?
Yes, definitely. The past 2 years, we haven't been able to make it, which this year, hopefully we will, which I think we will.
Mhm.
Definitely makes us like more fired up to be better.
Yeah. What was the summer like for you guys, or the preparation leading into the fall season?
We had weights and a lot of open gyms and stuff. I was playing club most of the time, and a lot of people just worked their butts off to get better.
Yeah. What do you really like about this team? I mean, what makes this team, really click on the field, or I guess on the court?
Definitely the team chemistry. Everyone's so like good friends, and like I love bonding with all the girls. And everyone just gets along, so it makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah. Talk about your relationship a little bit with the coaching staff. Coach Larson nominated you for this. What's kind of your relationship like with her?
She came my sophomore year, so definitely got to like grow with her and get to know her like tendencies and how she likes to coach. She's a very well-trained coach, and she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. When did you when did you start playing volleyball? Like at what age, and like how did you get your start into volleyball?
I played in like kindergarten for like the Y and stuff, so I kind of grown up around it. My mom played when she was little, and now my sister, she's playing too, so we just kind of grown up with it.
Yeah. What's that like playing with your sister?
It's very fun. She's very good. I'm glad I'm like her sister and like being able to like lead her. And she's going to be pretty good competition for people in the upcoming years.
Yeah. Who's better, you or her?
She's definitely going to get better than me. I'm better at passing right now. I used to be a hitter, but she has me beat on that right now because she's taller than me.
Yeah. When did things click for you in volleyball? Like when did you feel like you started to get really good and started to feel more comfortable?
Freshman year, honestly. I feel like that summer I took like a big leap in how I started to play, and I just started to develop as a player and as a whole.
Yeah. What do you enjoy the most about playing volleyball?
I just like being able to get better each and every day, and it's just like my thing that kind of like takes all my nerves away. And like just being able to play, it's fun.
Yeah. Are you looking to play at the next level? Like what's the next step for you in terms of your volleyball career?
Yes, I want to go to college for it. I don't know where yet, but I'm looking right now and stuff. So
yeah. What are some of your goals for the season, whether those be for the team or for you just personally?
I want to win City League, definitely make it to state, and I just want to like help everyone grow individually and make everyone a better player.
Yeah. What's a pregame routine look like for you? What do you like to do to stay prepared, especially when you have tournaments and stuff where those are all day affairs? What do you like to do to stay ready and get ready?
Definitely like I don't know, mentally prepare, and then like we like to jam out in the locker room, and so we do that.
Yeah. Who's on the aux cord? Is it you as seniority? Do you have the seniority for the aux cord?
It's me and Anna most of the time.
Gotcha.
But, yep.
What's the tunes usually look like in the locker room before a game?
Hype, just all over the place.
Yeah. What's the next couple of weeks look like for you? What's the schedule look like for the team? And what are you guys doing to prepare for those games?
We have the Valley Center tournament on Saturday, which is going to be fun. And we're practicing, and I think we're scrimmaging today. But
yeah. What are some of the coaching points that Coach Larson and the coaching staff have been giving you? When you guys go into the film room, what are some of the points they're trying to emphasize and improve upon?
We need to perfect our serve receive, because then we can run a perfect offense. And basically just like keeping the ball in play. Like if it's not a perfect ball, we don't have to like swing the ball, like hit it out every time. We just have to keep the ball in play.
And outside of volleyball, what do you like to do for fun?
I like to watch movies, hang with my friends.
Yeah. What's a fun fact about you? Something somebody may not know about you?
I'm really good at ping pong.
Okay. Like really, really good, like Forrest Gump kind of style good?
I mean, some days I'm better than others. I mean, if I've been playing it for like that day for a while, I'll be good, but.
Gotcha. Well, Bree, congratulations on an excellent tournament at Hayes, the defensive MVP of the tournament, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
There you go. High school female athlete of the week, Bree Martin of Bishop Carroll Volleyball. High school male athlete of the week, Kedrick Harrison of Southeast. Our first high school athletes of the week for the 25-26 season. Glad to have the segment back. I know a lot of you like to hear from the young individuals here in our community, and they deserve a lot of credit. High School Athletes of the Week presented to you by Distinct Inc. as well as Great Clips. Appreciate their support of local high school athletics. Speaking of high school athletics, High School Game of the Week presented by Commerce Bank takes place tonight at 7 o'clock. You have Goddard and Eisenhower. You have a battle. War on 54 is what they call it. We have the Four Seasons RV pregame show beginning at 6:30. Catch it with Chance Lebo here on your number one station for high school athletics coverage, ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM. All right, we have What's on Tap coming up next, as well as Buy or Sell. But first, getting you all sorts of excited for the Kansas City Chiefs. But for those who don't know, we are doing the Kansas City Chiefs Bud Light Neon Sign giveaway. And if you would like to be entered to win the Bud Light Neon Sign, I need you to text Bud Light to 316-247-0923. Text Bud Light to 316-247-0923. That Bud Light Neon Sign, you can see it if you watch the video stream. It is up. It is beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. If you would like to be entered to win, text now to win a Kansas City Chiefs Bud Light Neon Sign. Brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the Kansas City Chiefs. Must be 21 years or older to enter. Text Bud Light to 316-247-0923. When we return, What's on Tap, as well as Buy or Sell. That's next on The Pulse.
This is The Pulse on Wichita's new sports leader, ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM.
Oh, I can't believe tax season is here already. But look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Eaton Roofing and Exteriors loves being a part of the Kansas landscape. Since 1993, they've repaired or installed residential roofing on thousands of Kansas homes. And whether you've had storm damage or you're ready for a new, current, weather-hardy roof, you can trust Eaton Roofing and Exteriors for expert advice about the right roof for your performance needs, budget, and neighborhood covenants. Call the local Eaton experts today at 316-943-0600 or visit EatonRoofing.com.
Eaton Roofing and Exteriors.
Nachos! Yeah, your nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
Great. And some Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're just going to eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks? Oh, seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Come on, lady. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Yeah! Yeah, this guy finally gets it. Hey, look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go.
If I can have it today. You just don't stop giving, do you? Green flag, we're underway. The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds. 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs. God can't drive. Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Phil's Coins and Bullion, Kansas's premier bullion dealer.
Football season is here, and there's no better time to score big at Phil's Coins and Bullion. Whether you're stacking silver like a defensive line or going for the gold like a championship ring, Phil's Coins has the deals that'll make your portfolio scream touchdown. From coins to collectibles, rare, historic, or investment grade, Phil's is your winning play for precious metals. Don't fumble your future. Run to Phil's, located at 9344 West Central, or visit philscoins.com. Phil's Coins and Bullion. Stack smart, stack strong.
Are you looking for the perfect blend of football and betting insight? What Are the Chances has you covered live every Sunday at the FanDuel Sportsbook inside the Kansas Star Casino at 11 a.m. Each week, we break down the biggest games, hottest lines, and smartest plays to keep you in the know before kickoff. It's everything you need to stay ahead of the action. It's What Are the Chances? Only at the Kansas Star Casino, 11 a.m. every Sunday on ESPN Wichita, 92.3 FM.
Tag team music, and for effect, that's me, DC, the brain supreme, and my man Steve Rowland. We're kicking the flow, and it goes a little something like this. Tag team, back again. Check it to wreck it, let's begin. Party on, party people, let me hear some noise. DC's in the house, jump, jump, rejoices. There's a party over here.
Oh, this is perfect.
Hands in the air, shake the dairy, yeah. These three words when you're getting busy.
Ooh, there it is. Good jam. All right, we're almost to the finish line, people. Coming up here in a little bit, we have Jack Johnson with the program. That's why you didn't hear from Jack Johnson from 2 till 4, because he's got some other duties he has to do. So Jack Johnson will be on ESPN Wichita here in a matter of minutes. We do have overtime. Actually, ESPN will be taking place tonight at 6 o'clock. I just realized that with Dylan Brett taking over, we'll have ESPN programming from 6 until 6:30. And then we'll have our high school game of the week presented by Commerce Bank. You have the War on 54, Goddard and Eisenhower. Catch it right here on the best station for high school athletics coverage, ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM. Let's take a look at what's on tap. It is brought to you by Busch Light. I know I just got done talking about another particular drink, but let me tell you about Busch Light. We also have a neon sign giveaway for Busch Light, but that's a whole nother segment for the Shane Dennis Show. Whether you are in the woods before sunrise or in the stands on game day or front row with your crew screaming every word at a concert, Busch Light is the beer that's always game. Text your favorite pick of the week to 316-247-0923. I believe it's, what is it? Is it Arizona and K-State who's going to cover? So if you want to throw in some more things, you can. 316-247-0923. If you get it correctly, you'll be entered to win a Busch Light neon sign. All right, what's on tap? Well, let me tell you about what's going on here for the station. So tomorrow, college game day at 9 o'clock. Stan Weber will be doing that. Always like hearing from Stan. We'll have Clemson and Georgia Tech at 11 o'clock, followed by the Backyard Brawl, Pitt and West Virginia, one of my favorite rivalries in college football. That's at 2:30. Wind surge. I hope they win today. I hope Tulsa loses. And then tomorrow, all they have to do is win, and we'll have playoffs at Equity Bank Park. That's what I'm hoping for. Should be perfect timing because we'll have the game tomorrow. Wind surge in Corpus Christi Hooks at 7:05, 6:50 with the pregame coverage here on ESPN Wichita. On Sunday, Chiefs tailgate at 8, Chiefs pregame at 9. You just heard the promo for What Are the Chances down at the Kansas Star Casino, FanDuel Sportsbook. We'll have a gambling show from 11 to 12. Then we will go to the NFL. Cowboys and Giants at noon, followed by the Broncos and Colts. And then a little Sunday night baseball. Why not? Yankees and Red Sox. Yeah, I think we're, let's see, checking off football. Okay, NFL, college football, baseball. Yeah. I guess we are the home for everything here on ESPN Wichita 92.3 FM. If you're going to go out and hunt, I know Busch Light is all about that as well. Be careful. Have fun, though. Hopefully it's a good weekend for you. Hopefully you are successful here this weekend. All right, Dylan Brett, it is time for buy or sell. So you get to hit me with some different things. So what do we have for buy or sell here on this lovely Friday?
Well, I think you already answered this with Fat Jack, but do you think the Chiefs are going to win on Sunday?
The answer is no.
All right, and okay.
The rephrasing should be the Chiefs win the football game on Sunday, and I would tell you sell. So try again.
It was 1.5 points, so they still win by 1. Okay, does K-State get going tonight? Do they look any better? Do they seem to shake the cobwebs off after that week 1 travel into Ireland?
You know, I keep going back and forth on this. I honestly do not know what's really going to happen tonight. I honestly do not know, and that's why the spread is 1.5. I believe it reflects that. Is Kansas State the more talented team? The answer there is yes. I truly believe that. Kansas State's the most talented team.
It's a better program, too.
Better program, historically. Arizona had a rough year last year, still bringing in the new coach that they have, who's now in his second season with new coordinators, both defensively and offensively. You have a fifth-year starting quarterback in Noah Fafita, who's still there, and 27 transfers, as I brought up, that brought in Division I experience. The result would be 403 starts in other programs across the board at the Division I level. Arizona has beaten 2 really bad teams, did not give up a single touchdown. And that would tell me that Arizona has been more locked in. They're just playing better football. Regardless of what you think about the competition, the fact that they stomped both of them and the fact that they didn't allow a single touchdown to either of them tells me, okay, Arizona's locked in. Then you have Kansas State, a team with all sorts of expectations going into this year. They have an injury right off the bat with Dylan Edwards on a muff punt. Now he's going to be back, but is that really going to alleviate all the problems? I don't think so. It's a road environment. It's a short week. You just got done being gassed. I guarantee you Sunday was a bunch of just relaxed time for Kansas State because of how physical that game was. I don't really know what's going to happen tonight. I don't know. It's a later kickoff. Can we throw that in there too? Later kickoff as well for Kansas State, 8:00 Central Time. I'm just saying, man.
We'll call it a coin flip.
It's tough. I really don't have a really good feel on this, and I don't know what Chance and them are saying. I should probably go over and look at their pick six to see what they have here. Looks like Shane and Jack are riding with Arizona. Chance has the under, which makes sense. Chance is usually one who's not going to go with the spread. Chance is one that almost always is going to go in a different direction. So, I like where Shane and Jack's head is because I would not be surprised if Arizona wins this football game. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Kansas State wins this football game either. It's truly a coin flip. But if you had to hold a gun to my head and say, hey, you probably shouldn't say that. That's poor taste. I'm sorry. Horrible thing. But if you were to force my hand and say, Pat, pick or choose, or pick, you got to choose one or the other, I would probably ride with Arizona. In all honesty, I would probably ride with Arizona the more I think about it. But I know earlier today we were talking about Kansas State and Arizona, and I'm almost positive I went with. Did I go Kansas State with that, Jack?
I think you did.
So
I got one more for us that we haven't talked about at all today. Did the Royals win more than one game this weekend? They're still playing games.
They're playing Philly though.
Yeah, I know.
I'll sell.
I wanted to be optimistic and say, "Hey, with the Royals."
I'm glad you're optimistic. And the
Yeah,
answer,
I'm going,
I'm selling. I'm selling it. All right, Dylan. Job well done. Thanks for filling in. And as for us, appreciate everyone listening. The weekend's here. Please enjoy it, Wichita. Let's relax and escape a little bit more with some sports, shall we? For producer Dylan Brett, I'm Pat Strathman saying so long, Wichita. You enjoy the weekend. We'll be back at it again on Monday at 2:00.
Did you know Nissan EVs have traveled